Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, just revisiting this fix. It's the next day, and I had to take the motor out again, which is fine because that's, I just taped it together. Kind of had an idea that it wouldn't be a 100% fix right off the bat. So, what ended up happening is I tried unlocking the door manually from the inside using just the door lock, and it wouldn't budge. It was jammed. It felt like it was jammed. So I took the door panel out expecting, well, the rod probably wasn't connected from the inside. I mean, I was pretty sure I put it together correctly, but I thought for sure that it was a little mistake. And it turns out that it is this again. And so I did have to dig all the way in there. It's a good thing I didn't super glue it or bond it or epoxy it or anything. It was just taped together. And what it was is that the zip tie solution that I came up with was actually working, but because this zip tie is a bigger zip tie, the little part here that bulges that you can see on this one, yeah, so from where the zip tie attaches, it bulges upwards quite a bit, and that was actually on the bottom part. It was bulging to the point where it was actually pushing this gear downwards at an angle. I think I actually already made a video on that, expressing my concern. Ooh, this might work, guys. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. Except for the fact that the zip tie, it's applying pressure to the gear that clutches this, and it's bending it that way. You can quite clearly see. Basically, what it was causing was, it wasn't interfering with the gear actually moving with the motor. What it was doing was it was actually clutching it to the point where this was sticking indefinitely on its own to the gear mechanism. So inadvertently what I had done is made it so that you could use the electronics to unlock and lock the door, but you couldn't use the manual locks, because the idea is that only when this spins is when this catches it, so that this can rotate with it, but otherwise this spins freely. And of course that's how the manual locks work, is that this will just spin freely, which allows the manual locks to actuate this backwards and forwards. And I discovered this when I took it all apart, and I found that this wasn't actuating fully this way, and it's because this was clutched because this gear had downwards pressure. I don't know how the inside of all this works, but basically what I had done now is, I was thinking, because I thought of this initially, I was like, maybe I should just use smaller zip ties, because of course it apply the pressure, or it's not necessary, and this bulges out anyways, which makes it hard to insert into the casing. And so I had these guys, but after taking one look and trying to put it on, 18 pounds of tensile strength, these are very small zip ties. So let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so you can see that these zip ties would more than likely not suit the use case to try and fix this. These are, I don't know the tensile strength of these guys, but they're definitely a lot more. And it stands to reason why you would want to use one of those if you could. Now I'm sure there's in-between sizes, these and those, but I don't have any. These are the only ones I have. These are like for cable management inside PCs, and then these are actually for like automotive stuff or quick fixing, or just basically more beefy cable management, I guess. So what I did is I got some 400 grit sandpaper, got another one of these zip ties, and then just rubbed it to get the bulge out of there. And I know that some people are going to say, well, that reduces the strength of this. It might fail at some point, but compared to this, and possibly even a tier up from this if there is an in-between size, this is the stronger zip tie for this use case, and eliminating a tiny bit of strength in order to use the zip tie still is probably, definitely, I don't know, I think it's the best solution out of all the options I have right now. And I was mostly annoyed because I just went to Fry's Electronics to find a 3.5 millimeter aux port hobbyist thing, like where you could just mod it with some solder, and I couldn't find it there, which is weird. So, yeah. I'm going to see how this goes.